Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, June 27th, 2026 for me. Another day of learning and growing. Hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. So it's the end of the month, end of the quarter. Very busy with work and also trying to get used to being on my own again after having a major surgery last month. If you haven't been following my journey, May 18th, I had a appendectomy. Now, it wasn't the lapidectomy where they basically just put 3 holes in you, and I think it's called lapidectomy. But it was actually a full appendectomy, and they had to cut me open. I ended up having 23 staples removed and was in the hospital 12 days. So went back to work. Let me see. I did 2 full weeks, I believe. I'm not even sure. Let me double check. I can tell you exactly. I got my calendar in front of me. So I went back to work on June the 8th. So that means I've been back at work for 3 weeks. However, the first week I worked maybe 1 day in the office and the rest of the days at home. Last week I worked mostly half days at the office, half days at home, and then this past week I worked every day at work. I had a doctor's appointment, maybe a few other things that took me away from the office, but for the most part I was there. And this week definitely felt like the better week, where I started to feel a little bit more like myself. I have been doing physical therapy. I don't know how many sessions I've had, but that's definitely making a difference in my recovery. When I was discharged from the hospital shortly afterwards, my doctor weighed me. I was at 154. This morning I weighed myself. I'm at 171. So my weight gain is where, is probably where I wanted to be. My ultimate goal is to get to about 185, 190. That's a good weight for me. How I'm doing that? I'm eating like crazy, of course. Eating 3 full meals a day, drinking supplements as well. And I think some of the weight gain too is muscle, because I have been working out at physical therapy, having physical activity at least. We're not doing core exercises just yet. It's not safe for me to do that. I was only discharged less than a month ago. Surgery happened on May 18th, and so we're probably going to start doing that in the very near future, but right now that hasn't happened. Anyway, that's enough of a health update for now. Wanted to go into my month-end update, which isn't much. If you haven't seen my previous videos, paid off $115,041.89 of non-mortgage debt. Identified that debt in June of 2020, and it took me 5 years and 9 months to pay that off. So, for some people that sounds like a very long time. For other people that sounds like a short time. I don't know how it sounds to you, but once I committed to the journey, really didn't focus much on the finish line, because ultimately I thought it was going to take maybe 8-9 years to pay it off. I was fortunate in that I paid off my first $80,000 roughly, the regular way, my job, side hustles, cut back on spending, and then $30,000 roughly of it was paid off from the sale of my home. So that was my path. My journey ended. It took 5 years and 9 months. So I've been debt free now today, 3 months and 9 days. And, I'm going to keep track of that as much as I've kept track of, my debt journey. But my ultimate goal right now is to build a full emergency fund, which I'm about to face my first challenge, because I had the surgery, and of course I have the medical bills that are starting to pile up. I am checking my insurance to see, the claims being processed and what my share is, so I can kind of have an idea of how much money I need to have to pay for that. So what will probably happen is I do have some money yet from this last paycheck to allocate. I'm probably going to set aside a few $100 or so towards that, and then just kind of wait for those bills to come in. I do have a health reimbursement account that has about $200 in it that I'm going to use towards paying that off. But I don't imagine that I can pay the debt off immediately without dipping into my emergency fund. Some people suggested, I could set up a payment plan with a hospital or whatever. I don't want to do that. I'm done dealing with debt the way that I used to deal with it. If I'm in a position to be able to pay it off right away and not have to worry about that, and then I can focus on investing and just trying to build wealth over the next few years in anticipation of retiring in about 15 to 18 years, then that's what I'll do. I do want to start saving for a vacation, so the sooner I can get this out of the way, I can set up a sinking fund where I'm setting aside maybe $40, $50 a month towards a vacation that I'll be able to pay off instead of having to I forget what the services are called, Klarna, these afterpay services. I hadn't used those. I don't think I've ever used those before. The closest to it, of course, is having credit card debt and having that roll over month to month, but those days are behind me because I pay off my credit cards each month. So anyway, that's that. But right now, my emergency fund is 33% funded. Now, if you don't know what an emergency fund is, it's essentially savings that you set aside specifically for emergencies. And the fact that I'm trying to build an emergency fund big enough that it'll cover 6 months worth of expenses if I were to go without a job, if I had a big emergency. I'm not a homeowner, so I don't have to worry about those type of expenses. But without a job, you got to pay rent, you got to pay for electricity, internet, any subscription services you might have. I have many. Energy, stuff like that. So, and which is funny, I'm looking at my budget right now. I only have 12 bills each month. In the past, I had like 19, 20 bills. The worst was when I had a bill every day. It was supposed to credit card bills every day. But anyway, I only have 12 bills each month. And that does include an investment account where I put money in each month. So definitely in a good place. Like I said, I've been debt-free for 3 months and 9 days as of today. It has been quite a year, and it's only June. Having that major surgery was definitely a setback, but it could lead to better things. Working out wasn't always a priority for me, but the different type of exercises we've been doing, I could definitely see continuing those. I live in a place where we have a nice gym, so I'm going to start utilizing that. Pretty much my PT has been early in the morning, which works best for me. And so, I'm excited to see where this heads. Now, the thing that I'm not a fan of is the scar that I see every day when I, go take a shower, and it's just a reminder of that time, and to see that sort of disfigured part of my body. It's interesting. I'm not even sure how to feel about it, to be honest, but I'll save that video for another time. Like I said, I don't have too many updates financially because the big goal was to build a full emergency fund. My goal was to do that in 12 months. It probably will take a little bit longer, but this is a good goal to have as opposed to having to focus on paying off debt, which I've been there and I've done that, had a lot of it. I don't want to get back into that type of debt. People keep asking me, am I going to buy a home again? If you ask me today, I'm about 95% sure that I won't, maybe even 98% sure, because houses are too expensive. If I'm looking at a 30-year mortgage that possibly could pay off in 15, I'll be in my 70s, and I don't want to be making house payments that long. So That's just my choice. So, crazy things have happened. If home prices drastically decrease and interest rates go down, then I may revisit that. I may have enough in savings to be able to do that, not counting my emergency fund, because that's a separate fund. But anyway, I'll get back to that. Sorry for this longer video than anticipated. I'm just kind of going off the cuff. But if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you know when to post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/chatting out of my budget. As always, thank you for watching. You all take care.